There I am. Good afternoon, esteemed professionals. It's wonderful to see y'all. My name is Persilindal, and we are back with some more Final Fantasy XIV New Game Plus today. Hello, Fauna. It's wonderful to see you, friend. I hope you're having a good one so far. Yeah, we're not doing Ishin because we finished up Ishin last night. We're done with that game, and we don't have to play any more of it. It's completed. It goes on the shelf. My day is good. I went out grocery shopping. I got a nice lunch, and now I'm settling in for stream. So I'm very, very excited for that. How has your day been so far? I think without further ado, let me get the game pulled up, and we'll jump over to the game screen just so that we can get the ball rolling on that. I will actually remember to adjust my audio this time. I did it! I remembered to change my levels. Day is good. It's been nice and productive. I am very glad to hear that. It's always nice when a day goes like that. Okay, so today's stream goal is to get through the Churning Mists, which should be pretty doable in short order. We've got one dungeon that we'll be going into today. As always, if anyone wants to come along for that, they are welcome to. Chat will be voting on my role for that once we get to it. That'll be kind of towards the end, and I think that puts us at the end of what the New Game Plus system considers to be Heavensward Part 1, if I'm remembering correctly, but we'll see. Okay. I'm gonna get my boy summoned. Alrighty. As a reminder, last time we went through the Dravanian Forelands. We met up with a tribe of bug people, killed their god, then made like a tentative truce with some of the dragons in that zone, and then climbed up a big old mountain. Now we're in the Churning Mists, and we're going to continue from there. Okay. Now we start New Game Plus from here. There we go. It's very finicky about where it lets us start things from, so... Okay, yeah, we basically just stopped, like, right at the Churning Mists, so... Let's go along. As always, if audio needs adjusting, please let me know. Beyond the clouds. Now that we have scaled the mountain, there remains the problem of finding Hresvelgr himself. Oh yeah, we're getting right into Moogle time, I forgot that. The little beasts. What manner of creature is that? Dragon fruit. Do my eyes deceive me, or was that a Moogle? No, that's definitely a Moogle, my guy. It was my understanding that they only dwelled within the Twelveswood. I certainly never expected to see one in the Churning Mists. If the Moogle does live here, however, he may know where Hresvelgr makes his lair. Quickly now, before we lose the creature completely. Bah, he's gone. Dragonfruit, we must widen our search. Okay, I don't think we're gonna find him. Etheric disturbance. The nearby air appears warped. You sense that concealing magics are at work. There is no sign of a Moogle in the area. We sure about that one? I see no evidence of this Moogle of yours. Are you certain it wasn't a trick of the light? Mayhaps 'twas simply one of these strange plants shifting in a breeze. What about you, Azael? Any luck? I have heard tales of these Moogles, but 'tis the first time I've ever laid eyes on one. They are rather adorable, aren't they? What? Why do you stare at me so? Can I not find a creature adorable? My heart is not truly made of ice. Hey, Alfie, we didn't find any Moogles. But Azael did have a good Gap Moe moment, so we'll take that. I'm sure I glimpsed the Moogle fleeing in this direction. Could he be concealing himself with magic? Mountaintop diplomacy. Confound it. Could we but enlist the aid of one of the local Moogles, I'm certain Hresvelgar would not elude us for long. Though the eye enables me to sense the presence of dragons, I can only identify Nidhogg's with any certainty. We could wander the mists for days and not know if we were any closer to his brood brother. And those are days we cannot well afford to squander. Shall we divide our forces then? Lady Azael, might I ask you to question any dragons whom you judge it safe to approach? I shall try. Yet I fear the influence of Nidhogg's rage will render most of the Dravanians in the area deaf to reason. And what of you, Master Alfino? I have not yet given up on the Moogles. Dragonfruit, come with me to Gridania. I mean to petition the aid of the Moogles' kin in the Twelveswood. After that business with Mogglemog, I dare say they'll be glad to help us. Assuming you have no need of me, I shall remain here. Nidhogg senses both the loss of his consort and the coming of the Eye, and his attention is firmly fixed in this direction. I mean to do what I can to hold his gaze, in the hope that it might delay any action against Ishgard. Thank you, Estinian. Come then, Dragonfruit, let us make haste for Gridania, and rendezvous at Nofika's altar. Ah, but I neglected to tell you. There is an aetheryte of ancient construction here which should make the return journey rather less arduous. Pray do not forget to use it. Okay, time to head to Gridania. I sent word to the Elder Seedseer upon arriving in Gridania, and I'm pleased to report that she's agreed to grant us an audience. If anyone can help us to contact the Twelveswood Moogles, it is she. We are expected at the Lotus Stand. I trust you are familiar with the Conjurer stationed at its entrance? I sure am. We have talked to this man time and time again. The Elder Seedseer awaits you. Pray follow me. I bid you welcome, friends. The Admiral spoke of having met with you, but 'tis no less a relief to see you safe and hale with mine own eyes. We humbly thank you for agreeing to receive us upon such short notice, my lady, and for all you have done for us in our absence. Would that it were solely to express our gratitude that we came to you this day. Alas, the tides of battle yet dictate our comings and goings. Elder Seedseer, we would beg your wisdom in a matter that may finally bring an end to the Dragonsong War. Speak on, friend. I see. So you seek a means to contact these Moogles of the Churning Mists. Kupopo, I say, Kupo. a little lad. Greetings, Kublakop. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? I was struck by the sudden urge to bring you some fruit, Kane, and I'm jolly glad I did. Tell me more about these Moogles in the sky, Kupo. I will gladly tell you all I know, though it amounts to precious little. We encountered a Moogle high in the clouds of Dravania, and had hoped that you and your kin in the Twelveswood might agree to facilitate a meeting. Pray correct me if I'm mistaken, Kuplo, but there are legends, are there not, which speak of Moogles who dwelled beyond the clouds? Indeed there are, Kupo. Long, long ago, back when the world was still young, they say my ancestors served the gods up in the heavens. Of course, that was before their masters took to bickering like spoiled children. Ah yes, the tale of good King Mogglemog XII. He is revered for holding fast to a rope of miraculous length that his subjects might climb down from the sky and escape to the world below. Ignoring the more fanciful aspects of the tale, it may well be that Kuplo's ancestors hailed from the churning mists. Given how long his kin have resided in the Twelveswood, it is perfectly possible that the details of their history have faded into myth. Indeed, Master Alfino, such stories oft contain a measure of truth. 'Tis like that the Moogles of the Churning Mists tell similar tales of the world below. I can well imagine why the one you encountered fled at your approach. Oh, fleeing's second nature to us. We often hide when the larger races come tramping through the forest. Of course, where there's one Moogle, there's bound to be more. Which is why I've decided to take a trip to the clouds, Kupo. They surely won't be afraid to talk to me. I was hoping you might say that, Master Kuplo. You will accompany us then? Just you try and stop me, Kupo. I'll admit, the thought of venturing outside the Twelveswood is a bit unsettling, but I can hardly refuse a chance to meet my distant cousins. If you will have me, I too will accompany you on this venture, and lend my voice to your cause as an ambassador of Gridania. My lady, Are you quite certain? How oft has our nation turned to the scions of the Seventh Dawn in its hour of need? How oft have we asked the Warrior of Light to risk her life to save our own? Full many times, I say you, and never have they refused us. Thus do I choose this day to offer mine aid to our allies for the good of the realm. Hello, Mika. Thank you so much for the hydrate routine. Much appreciated. Okay, Zip has been taken. Is this not just? A most unexpected and most welcome offer, Elder Seedseer. We would be honored by your presence. Back to the mists. After we talk to Alfino. Pray return to the summit and inform our companions of these developments. I will serve as the Elder Seedseer's guide on the journey back to Som Al. It being a path I've already trodden, I do not anticipate any great difficulties. Besides, we shall have the Elder Seedseer's personal guard to escort us. Okay, back to Mogholm. Well met, Warrior of Light. Nidhogg has not stirred, but he watches us, unblinking. The Elder Seedseer herself answers your call. Then there is naught to do but wait. They are here, Dragonfruit. Greetings, my friends. I am happy to report that our journey was mercifully uneventful, devoid as the road was of Dravanians. 'Twould seem the dragons have abandoned Somal for the churning mists. Elder Seedseer, may I present to you Sir Estinian, Ishgard's Azure Dragoon? 'Tis an honor to meet you, Sir Estinian. I have heard many tales of your order's extraordinary skill and courage. Hello, Lena. Wonderful to see you, friend. Hope you're having a good day so far. Friends, I feel it only right to inform you that we are not alone. The Moogles are all around us even as we speak, and I should imagine they are more than a little concerned by the horde of strangers that have descended upon their home. Mayhap now would be an opportune moment to introduce ourselves. You have joined us for real Moogle hours. Connie warning us of the horrors. Yup, this should serve. They're hiding, of course, but there are so many of them, Kupo. I am Khan A. Senna. My companions and I have braved the long road from the Twelveswood to share words with you. On this, the occasion of our first meeting, we bring an offering of light and wind. Ah yes, the sick Moogle tunes. Oh, such a gentle and pleasing glow, Kupo. That's so many Moogles. I am Moglin, the chieftain of this Moogle clan. Chieftain Moglin, it is an honor to meet you. Greetings, I am Kuplokop, ambassador of the Twelveswood Moogles. A Moogle from the world below. Your hide is of a different hue, but that palm is unmistakable. I might need a moment here, Kupo. My companions were no less surprised to learn of your existence here amongst the clouds. I hope they did not startle you overmuch in their eagerness to make your acquaintance. Full well can I imagine your wariness. I am told that men have not walked here in nigh on 1,000 winters. Mayhap you will forgive them their forwardness when I unfold to you the grave matter which first brought them into your midst. My companions crave an audience with the great worm Hrsvelgr, that they might negotiate an end to the war twixt man and dragon. An end to war, you say? I trust you, Kane Senna. The light of peace shines brightly within your soul. But I'm afraid the same cannot be said of your friends. To be plain, we did not hide ourselves because they were the first of your kind to be seen here in 1,000 years. Well, not only because of that. We hid because we smelled the dragon blood. These skies are home to many, many dragons. While some crave peace, such as Hrsvelgr, many others crave the opposite, such as Nidhogg. Suffice it to say, we are worried that the presence of your blood-spattered warrior friends will attract the attention of the nastier kind, and invite destruction into our happy home. Singling out me and Estinian? Now just a moment, chieftain. A dragon fruit here may have doled out the odd thrashing or two, but it's always been for a really good reason. Uh-huh, sure. She is a champion of the Twelveswood Moogles, and I'll not hear her good name slandered. Now, Ambassador, let's not ruffle each other's fur. I shall, of course, take your testimony into consideration. If I may, chieftain, there is little room for trust twixt strangers. Might we not take this opportunity to learn more of each other? An excellent suggestion, Kupo. In the interests of fostering friendship and keeping an eye on you, I extend to you the hospitality of Moghome. Prove yourselves worthy of our assistance, and it will be yours. I shall be watching, Kupo. Ah yes, Moogle cultural exchange time. Tell me, in the world down below, do all of your kind look so different from one another? It must be terribly disconcerting. What was it Kuplokop called you again? Dragon fruit? Your names are as odd as your appearance. Have you ever considered a nice Moogle name? Moglin is taken, by the way, Kupo. As are Moggan, Mugmug, and Mogwin, these being the names of the 3 wise Moogles who will administer the momentous challenges that I have devised to measure your worth. I call them the Trials of Trustworthiness. Undertake these trials and we shall soon see whether or not you are worthy of our aid. Oh, good. Moggan's trial. Hello, yes, I am Moggan, the foremost alchemist in Moghelm, if you must know. If your tummy's gloopy or your wings are droopy, I have a potion to fix that. Or I would if I didn't keep running out of ingredients. Luckily, you're here to do my trial, yes. Go forth, mighty adventurer, and mightily pluck 3 sprigs of cloud's breath for me. You'll find it blooming near the entrance to Ale Tome. It's not the safest of places, so don't let yourself be too distracted by the pretty flowers, Kupo. Ah yes, Moogle chore time. Hello, Laura. Wonderful to see you, friend. Hope you've been having a good day so far. We are momentarily in Moogle hell, because we're starting off the Churning Mists today. We do be Kupo-Kupoing. Did you have any trouble finding Cloud's Breath? I do need it quite urgently, you know. Lack of imagination has led to most white flowers found growing in the skybound regions of Travania and Appalachia to be named after clouds, this light-petaled specimen being no exception. Oh yes, these are perfect, Kupo. Now I have the main ingredient for my palm tonic. Speaking of which, how are you feeling, miss? Should you ever feel your palm losing its balance, then I'm your Moogle, Kupo. My palm feels fine, but thank you. Alrighty, Mogmug, what's your trial? Yes, you have the pleasure of speaking with Mogmug. I know, I am the fluffiest, most enchanting creature you've ever laid eyes upon, Kupo. It isn't easy being this adorable. I can barely take a stride outside without those relentless Travanians throwing themselves at me. Why, they look as if they might just gobble me right up. In any case, fleeing their overbearing adulation is growing a bit tiresome. Your trial, madam, is this. Find these ardent archaeosaurs and slap some manners into them, Kupo. Perhaps a firm smack on the snout will teach them to appreciate my charm from afar. Defeat archaeosaurs. One thing that I don't love about New Game Plus that, like, I kind of wish they would find a fix for is it only lets you do one quest at a time, so for stuff like this where you have multiple different quests available, you still kind of have to just go back and forth through all of them, which, like, if we could have done all 3 at once, that would have been nice, but it's fine. Oh. Out of here. Any more? Nope, that's it. One final Moogle trial after this. You were able to humble my Dravanian devotees? Wonderful! You are as capable as I am captivating, Kupo. Still, my precious perfection does not excuse these louts from pursuing me so mercilessly, their tongues lolling and bellies rumbling. The Dravanians and their ilk have much to learn about acceptable acts of admiration. Normal ways to describe a dragon, I guess. And Mogwin's trial. Lurking for a bit while you tidy up, but you'll be back. Enjoy your lurk, thank you so much. Mogwin's the name and art is my game. When it comes to painting, there are none in Mogholm who can match my talent with a brush, Kupo. I know why you have come. Chieftain Mogwin has demanded that I test your trustworthiness. But as I trust no one to create art that will satisfy me, I instead charge you with retrieving a masterpiece I seem to have misplaced. It was an ambitious and innovative work, guaranteed to fetch at least 4 Kupo nuts on the open market. You must find it. Question the masses. Damn Moogle Mafia over here. Look, they got tasks for us. Surely a pebble painted with such vibrant color and unmistakable panache cannot have escaped the notice of every Moogle in Mogholm. Question Mogholm's inhabitants. Hi, did you steal a rock? Mogwin is missing his masterpiece, Kupo? Oh, you mean that paint-smeared mess of a pebble? I've not seen it recently, a fact for which my eyes are profoundly grateful. Maestro Mogwin has misplaced his masterpiece, Kupo. Oh, happy day! If I am the swifter in finding it, I will soon have a genuine Mogwin for the price of a little perspiration. Honestly, who has 4 Kupo nuts just lying about to spend on such luxuries? Mogto? I don't know much about his stone, but I do know Mogwin's been creeping out the back way to Somal Summit from time to time, Kupo. Maybe he left it up there. Hi, did you leave it on the summit, buddy? Well, what did you find out, Kupo? Ah, yes. And now that you mention it, I do seem to recall leaving my pebble out in the sun to dry. Ahem. The second part of your trial commences. Go, adventurer, and retrieve my masterpiece before some art-starved admirer swipes the stone for himself. Obtain the Moogle masterpiece. Absolutely. We got it. Also, I don't know if this person needs a res or not, but they've got it if they want it, I guess. Hey Mogwin, we found your rock. Do you have it, Kupo? Is my masterpiece safe? An ordinary rock, awash with extraordinary color. What that color represents, however, you cannot discern from any angle. Yes, this is my work. Is it not exquisite? I call it Contemplations of Zenith. Gotta get that title progress for rezzing people not in your party? I really do. I need to do that in Baja more so I can get the Guardian Angel title. Thank you, madam. At last I can exchange my art for those delectable Kupo nuts. A chieftain Moglin will hear of this valorous deed. You have completed the trials of trustworthiness. Return to Chieftain Moglin and await his judgment. Hi, we helped your town. Moglin's judgment. Dragon fruit. if that is what you insist on calling yourself, you have completed the trials of trustworthiness administered by the taskmasters Mogan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. During these grueling tests of character, I closely observed your conduct, as well as that of your companions. And I am decided, Kupo. Gather your friends before me now, so that I need not repeat myself needlessly. Alrighty, time to round up the road trip crew. Are these trials over then? My tasks have been little more than household chores. If our hosts elect not to grant their aid after working us like pack chocobos, I shall demand compensation in Kupo nuts out of principle. But I hope it will not come to that. Let us hear the chieftain's verdict, shall we? How about you, Estinian? Do you have fun? How go your trials, Warrior of Light? I myself have been sent on a number of expeditions to chastise the local dragon population. Did not their chieftain wish to avoid inflaming the Dravanians? Such contradictions aside, our hosts seemed entranced by the height of my leap. They compared me to Mog, a lance-wielding Moogle warrior of Eld who also favored such attacks. 'Twas meant as a compliment, I expect, but I doubt these furry lumps could outleap a caracal lamb, much less a dragoon. Conclude your business here swiftly, Dragonfruit. I like not this place. He's so grumpy. What about you, Kane? Standing here in Mogholm, my thoughts turn inevitably to the legend of good King Mogomog XII and his seat in the heavens. Like most, I thought it no more than a myth, a story for younglings that grew with the telling. But with every passing moment, I become more certain that we have discovered the origin of the tale. Full eager am I to hear what the chieftain has to say. Oh, ad starting in about a minute, chat. Just so y'all are aware. What do we got, Kuplo? We've become such friends, Kupo. My Moogle cousins love to sing and dance as much as I do. Chieftain Moglin has finally come to a decision, has he? Well, I suppose I'd better flutter over and see him then. What sorcery is this? That my heart should stir at mere fluffiness. Dragonfruit, I was... No matter. What is it? Chieftain Moglin has made his decision. Well, let us not keep him waiting then. The sale is so good, is the thing. Alrighty, time for Moogle judgment. Never have I seen such determined workers, Kupo. It would have taken us moons to complete all those dreary chores and niggling errands. And have our labors proven the purity of our intentions, Chieftain? Without a doubt. In fact, there was never really all that much doubt to begin with. You were, after all, already friends with a fellow Moogle. But, you see, before any meeting with Hrispelgar could take place, certain preparations needed to be made. And what better way to help you pass the time than by having you perform all the tiresome tasks that no one ever wants to do, Kupo? Oh, he mad. Oh dear. The horn. Bring out the horn. Quickly now. The trumpet. We blow on this wondrous instrument whenever we wish to speak with the Great Worm, Kupo. We haven't perhaps been treating it with the care that it deserves of late, and I think Moghan may have sat on it, so we needed some time for cleaning and polishing and straightening. No lasting harm done, though. Now, you need simply head to Zenith, the worm's dwelling to the west, and give the horn a good toot. We are in your debt, Chieftain. Thanks to your noble gift, we shall finally have a chance to plead our case to Hrispelgar. Very possibly, yes, but I wouldn't get my hopes up too high, Kupo. The old worm isn't terribly fond of, Your concern is appreciated, but I am quite certain that Hrispelgar will welcome our overtures. should we ever arrive at his lair. Come, we have squandered enough time already. Chieftain Moglin, we thank you for your gracious hospitality. Though we must soon take our leave, I pray that we may continue to nurture the shoots of this new-sprung friendship twixt earth and sky. Of course, Kupo. Visit us whenever you wish. Consider Mogholm your home amongst the clouds. Oh no, I've spent far too much time in this zone. But I never have to come back here again outside of, New Game Plus, because all my crafting stuff is done here. Thanks for the help, Kupo. I doubt I would ever have found the time for all those rotten chores. Hey, it wasn't my idea. If the chieftain had spent a little less time sitting about and a little more time chieftaning, things would never have gotten so messy in the first place. And he was the one who sat on the horn, by the way. But now all the errands are done and the horn is fixed, so all's well that ends well, eh, Kupo? Leaving Mogholm. Well, I expect you're eager to be on your way. Did I mention your friend was looking for you, Kupo? If not, Alfino is looking for you. I'll be waiting just outside, stretching my wings. Let me know when you're ready to depart. To the best of my knowledge, we have all that we need for our trip to Zenith, and I believe the Elder Seedseer and her retinue will soon be making the journey back to Gridania. It would be remiss of us, I think, not to convey our gratitude to them prior to going our separate ways. Shall we? Thank you for your help. Alfino, Dragonfruit, I do humbly thank you for what has been a most enlightening experience. Were it not for your pioneering spirit, the existence of these Moogles might never have been revealed to us. 'Tis we who should be thankful, Elder Seedseer. Were it not for your timely diplomacy, they would never have chosen to reveal themselves at all. And 'twas your presence, Kuplokop, that ultimately won us their trust. It must have taken great courage to leave the sanctuary of the Twelveswood, and we are exceedingly glad that you did. It was my pleasure, Kupo. I've made so many new friends and have so many fantastic tales to tell my kinsmoogles back home. And it is to our home that we must now return. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal, my friends. Safe journey, Elder Seedseer. We too must be on our way. Hresvelger awaits. Warrior of Light, pray tend closely to your companion, Sir Estinian. Beneath that stoical facade, a storm of anguish seethes unseen. Okay, we're finally ready to go meet with the dragons. Probably. Have you said your goodbyes and dabbed away your tears, Kupo? Then we are indeed ready to go. The road to Zenith. As Chieftain Moglin already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Hresvelger's attention. I'll come along and show you the way to Zenith. That's the big palace where you need to blow the horn. First things first, though, we need to make for a saw. Oh, and watch out for rampaging dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing. We'll be fine. Defeat enemies on the path to Zenith. Can do. This is just guys. I'm so excited to get to Zenith. That probably has... In terms of zone music, it's definitely in my top 5 for, like, the whole game. It's some good shit. Things were a bit bitey for a while there, but I think we've arrived in one piece, Kupo. I wonder what has the dragons so awfully snappy. I mean, the bad ones are always bad, but they seem worse than usual. Waiting for the wind to change. We may have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Hrisvelger invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads to the lands below to hunt. If you tried blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then, we might as well make ourselves comfortable. If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this place is as good as any. And mayhap a brief respite from the hardships of the road will help to clear our minds in readiness for the coming parley. Very well then, I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Kurthus. That boy's so excited to get lumber. Clear our minds. 'Tis Master Alfino whose mind needs clearing. The thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Did you see him stroll away as if these ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow him, Dragonfruit, and see that the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have the camp ready by the time you return. He'll be fine. He's got his Tetris block Grimoire. He can look after himself. I see I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Alfino returns with the wood, we can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what looked like stew ingredients ready for the fire. He did it! He found firewood. Good job, buddy. Ah, few things compare to the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making. Huh, so speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized firewood if it came with kindling and a flint. 'Tis well you instructed me so patiently, then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to Azael with a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of a Charlian dignitary, and alongside my twin, became the youngest student ever to be accepted into the studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers. How ignorant of my own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal, and led to the downfall of the Scions. We all of us are guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives, never knowing what it was that they fight for, never questioning that which they have been taught to believe. "'Twas only upon meeting Hrsvelgr that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for that chance encounter, I would never have vowed to tear down the Holy See and expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance. That the truth has driven me to do terrible things I cannot deny, but I would rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous for perpetuating a needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding to one's convictions in the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge." "You are well on your way, Master Alfino. At your age I was but a fool swinging a spear with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here, amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we are now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragonsong War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I can say for a certainty that it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great worm. If Ishgard's survival rests on me wielding that power, I will slay Nidhogg myself.
Glad I made it for
Orders
Scrumble
no.
Boy to ask his beliefs.
Hello, Sage. Welcome, welcome. Yes, Estinian's having his first moment of self-reflection ever. We're very proud for him. Also, holy shit, 9 months. God damn. It's important. It is. Estinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Hrsvelgr of the righteousness of your cause. Doubt not but that I shall, Dragoon. Well, winds willing, we shall have our answers on the morrow. Let us sleep now and face our fate with the rising of the sun. Heart of Ice. Oh, it's time to meet the boy. The campfire was so cozy. I must have fallen asleep, Gabo. But do you feel how the winds have shifted? They will have borne Hrsvelgr back to the skies above Zenith, I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot on that shiny horn. So, I'll be heading back now, if it's all the same to you. Good luck, Gabo. It was nice knowing you. Blow the horn on the top floor of Zenith. It's time for that good zone music. It is time, warrior of light. Lend me your resolve, Saint Shiva. So this is the place. Great glam, thank you so much. Not gonna lie, putting together the glams for 2 Game Plus has been some of my favorite stuff. Mortals, why do you disturb my solitude? It's the boy! The large old man himself. That is such a good design.
Grace Velga.
Thou speakest the name of a creature that but awaiteth the release of oblivion. Leave me.
By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
I'm in love with this design, was so happy to not just see standard Western dragons. Yes. The Great Worms in general have all had pretty shockingly good designs, and I'm very happy for it.
Racevelga, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth about your past, about Shiva.
Do not speak her name, mortal.
But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me.
Foolish girl, thinkest thou my beloved spirit hath descended from the heavens? That the secrets of her heart are thine to know. Hello, Chim. Wonderful to see you. Gotta go, so have fun, Kupo. I will do my best, Kupo.
I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn.
Oh, girly. Gullible fool. The light but eliminated the past for thee. It did not grant thee omniscience. The spirit thou hast summoned belongeth not to Shiva. 'Tis but a shade conjured by thine own fancy. In an age long past, mine own kin were guilty of like folly. Beguiled by the Dark One's lies, they attempted to resurrect a king amongst worms. Yet the divinity they called forth merely borrowed the semblance of my fallen brood brother. Such gods are not summoned but created. Phantoms spun from the threads of misplaced faith.
Then the spirit that answered me.
was but thy dream of Shiva. Thy soul hath been corrupted by a deity of thine own making, child.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelgr, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
The tale of thy kind is one of avarice, treachery, and death. And thou wouldst speak to me of peace? Hark thee, mortal, to the naked truth. Then tell me thou deservest forgiveness. How it really happened, Part 2. 1200 years ago, my beloved Shiva's sacrifice served to bring an end to the war twixt man and dragon, paving the way for an age of peace and cooperation. Two centuries of harmony were to follow, during which time the Elizin learned much about us, not least that the eyes of a great worm are the wellspring of his strength. Twas out of the selfish desire to possess this strength that King Thordan then conspired to undo all that our peoples had achieved together. With the aid of his leal knights, that most noble of Elizin lured my brood sister Ratatoskr into an ambush, and took from her that which he craved. Fain would I strike the image from my mind, yet still the scene doth linger, of my brood sister's tattered corpse defiled by her Elizin allies. They had torn out her eyes and feasted upon them in the manner of wild beasts. Yet that was not all, for from their bloody banquet the fiends had gained strength beyond that of mortal men. Even now I labor to comprehend the enormity of their betrayal. Nidhogg was the first to learn of the atrocity, and he took to the skies hungry for vengeance. But though he slew Thordan and some few of his knights, their fellow butchers knew only too well where to aim their spears, and with now practiced savagery, they set about my brood brother, sending him flailing from the field. Such is the truth the Holy See would keep hidden. Such was the beginning of the Dragon Song War. 'Tis a song my kind shall ne'er forget. E'en should 10,000 years pass and Ishgard crumble into dust.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
Gods, everything they've gone through really is heartbreaking. Yeah, the dragon's got it real fucking rough. He do be a little stinky. He's not like fully unbathed at this point, but he do be kind of smelly. What thou choosest to believe is immaterial. The betrayal that yet haunts mine every waking moment is no less than the truth to my kind. Not yet, but you know there's gotta be some blood on that armor. Oh, for sure. Yep. Also, ad starting in about a minute, chat. And Nidhogg meaneth for Thordan's people to suffer for this sin till the end of days. That which thou imaginest a war of extinction is but a punishment, a siege of the spirit. Hast thou not seen those who tire of the torment, those who abandon their own and side with dragonkind?
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Know that all the traitor's progeny bear a trace of Radatoskar's essence. But a single sip of our blood is enough to awaken it.
Then the seed lies within us.
Tis for this reason that those who abandon their loyalties are rewarded with a drink, and thus are they transformed, to join the ranks of Nidhogg's ever-growing army as newborn dragons. One by one, through death or defection, my brood brother shall account for all of the betrayer's children.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain!
There will always be some, of course, who choose to fight until the bitter end. Like thee, Dragoon. But struggle as thou might, thy youthful vigor will be spent ere thou reachest 210, and Nidhogg shall remain to torment thine offspring.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance. An eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
Thou hast the right of it, Dragon Slayer. Comprehendest thou now the futility of thy quest?
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Stubborn child, thou thinkest in mortal terms. Our perception of time is too broad for thee to grasp. Tis a simple matter for thee to offer thine apologies. Thou didst not perpetrate the crime. Despite thy visions, the deeds of history seem distant to thee. For a worm such as Nidhogg, however, that history is yet part of his present, as fresh as the blood that did gush from Ratatosker's wounds. How could he not be driven mad? Tis only by the calming embrace of Shiva's soul that mine own fury hath not consumed me. But let us speak no more of what is done. My faith in your kind is spent, and I would be alone. So the negotiations went well. Hresvelgar was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power, the will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. 'Tis but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even unto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truths we have learned serve only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course. Oh shit, okay. So that was Heavensward Part 1. We are still gonna go on to finish the Churning Mists, so I guess we're starting Heavensward Part 2. Venturing deep into the domain of the dragons, the heroes come face to face with the great worm Hresvelgar, from whom they learn the sordid truth of the Dragonsong War. Born of man's treachery was this bloody conflict, and by man's hand it must be ended. Thus does the Warrior of Light sally forth with Ishgard's greatest champion, the Azure Dragoon, on a mission to crush the Serpent's head. The Worm's Lair.
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair.
Oh, you know,
Is
Nidhogg.
said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word, and aided you in this fool's errand with Hresvelgar. But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength, that you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
Yeah, we'll be fine, Alfie.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And with two Azure Dragoons working in unison, who can say what might be possible?
Oh, buddy, I'm not going in there as Dragoon.
But such speculation is meaningless.
You got good faith
if
in
we
me,
cannot
but
even find
it's
the
not
worm.
happening.
Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
Came back for the extra Dragoon dialogue. Yup.
The story of this nation.
I'm glad that they
grows
included
bloodier by
that.
the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider if mine
Hello,
armor is not
Zero!
stained crimson
Thank
ere
you
this
so
conflict is
much.
ended.
Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. One sec. Let me get autoplay done. Let me get you a shout out, Zero. One sec. Oh,
should be
perfect.
blinded
Lena's on
by
top of
my
it.
own
Wonderful.
lies.
Anyway, hello.
Everything I believed. Everything I thought I was. Gone.
Welcome, Raiders. We're
Oh,
doing
God.
some Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward New Game Plus today. My name is Persilin. I'm a variety PNG tuber. I stream a variety of things. We're doing Final Fantasy and Dredge this week. We'll be doing Final Fantasy 16 once that comes out later this month, which I'm super, super excited for. Yeah, thank you and welcome all. What were you playing today, Zero? Make yourselves comfy, get some water,
Leave
get some
her.
rest if you need.
Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
A cute visual novel game called Dinopunk. Ooh, interesting. I haven't heard of that. What's that about? If it's a VN that you can offer a short summary for, because I know sometimes those are difficult to encapsulate in like a sentence or two. Okay. Defeat enemies as you search for the Eyrie. The Eyrie? The Eyrie. I know how words are pronounced sometimes. You're a T-Rex with short arms that owns a repair shop in a city full of dinosaurs? Oh, that's... If that doesn't sell it, I don't know what will. That sounds fantastic, honestly. It's a very good concept. That's where we're headed, the Eyrie. No. None of this. Anyways, you go rest now. Get some good rest, Zero. Thank you so much for the raid, and thank you for stopping by. No. No. Absolutely no. Hey, Estinian, I don't think we can get up there, my guy. It's a very optimistic thinking on your part, but I don't know that it's gonna happen. I can't jump that high.
Is that it?
Sure is, Alfie.
Aye, that would be the Eyrie. I feel Nidhogg's presence through the eye, his caustic hatred gnawing at my soul. 'Twould seem the death of his consort has put him on guard. Mark how he wards his lair with tempestuous winds.
A similar barrier once barred our entrance to the primal Garuda's domain, until we discovered the means by which it could be penetrated.
Yeah, let's just do the same thing here.
Mayhap it is time we called upon Master Garland. It will be just like the good old days, no?
New winds, old friends. A force of sufficient power to break through a primal's defenses might conceivably grant us access to the Eyrie. And I can offer no better solution. Pray consult this engineer friend of yours. Very well, on the condition that you swear not to lure Nidhogg from his lair in our absence. And steal all the glory for myself, you mean? Nay, I am not so selfish as that. Contact me by link pearl when your preparations are complete, and we shall set forth from Ishgard together. I suggest we rendezvous back at St. Renette's Forum, Dragonfruit. From what I gleaned of the Holy See's decidedly ambitious airship project, Cid will still be in Ishgard. Oh, there's a shooting star over there. I don't think I've ever actually seen a shooting star in game. That's cool that they're there. When last you saw Master Garland, he was advising the Ishgardians on their ailing airship, correct? In that case, he might still be at Camp Cloudtop. Failing that, we could try the airship landing, or maybe even the Skysteel manufactory. But let us not waste time searching aimlessly. Someone in the city is sure to know where to find him. The question is who? Sir Emmerich would seem the obvious choice, but there's no guaranteeing you'll be able to grant us an audience at short notice. Have I never? They're rare but nice. Yeah, I've never seen one before. Ah, I have it. Count Edmund's youngest son prides himself on knowing all the Holy See's juiciest rumors. Let us return to the manor and see if Lord Emanelaine is about. Or do we have to? Can we not get a different source of info? I mean, fine, we'll talk to Failson Forton. Ah, the hero returns. How goes the fight, old girl? Well, I trust. In search of a Cid Garland, you say? Then say no more. The taverns are full of talk, and the name of said silver-haired genius has cropped up more often than most. I hear he's been tasked with getting that monstrous airship the Holy See commissioned to actually fly. It would seem the project has been plagued with mishaps from the start. In any case, Garland Ironworks employees are known to frequent the airship landing, and I'll wager their master does too. The airship landing? Yes, I thought as much. Come, Dragonfruit, we must find Cid and trouble him for his expert opinion. Speak with Cid at the airship landing. Missed that he was commissioned to make them one. Yeah. We saw him very briefly back in the Sea of Clouds when he was making repairs to the Protector. A dragon fruit, Alfino. How fare you both? Not terribly well, judging by your faces. Greetings, Master Garland. I am sure it will come as little surprise when I tell you we have need of a favor. Another wind barrier. And you say it was conjured by Nidhogg? The Enterprise could certainly take you where you need to go, but she would not fare well against dragons. She's agile for a ship her size, but not that agile. The Dravanians would fly rings around her. And if they took it into their heads to incinerate the rigging, there would be precious little we could do to avoid them. But there must be something we can do. Some manner of weapon we could employ? Estinian stands vigil at the edge of the churning mists, but we do not know how much longer. All right, I didn't say it was impossible. I said it was impossible for the Enterprise. We need a smaller boat. Biggs, Wedge, it's time we gave that new toy of yours a proper field test. Ah yes, here's where we get the ugliest airship in the game. Sorry to the mana cutter enjoyers in the audience, but it's a weird design. It's probably best if I let the lads show you. Come on, the manufactory's not far. Hi, Biggs. Our little project's just inside. Oh, you're gonna like this one.
Feast your eyes upon our latest and greatest feat of engineering. We call it a mana cutter.
It sure is a ship.
After you put down Gaius, Wedge and me struck out on our own for a bit, and started work on the successor to the tiny Bronco.
Impressive little thing, isn't she? My talent for ship design has plainly rubbed off on them. They've adapted the principles of corrupted crystal technology and constructed a mechanism which converts ether from its surroundings into elemental wind. Said wind is then harnessed by the specially engineered sails, providing the craft with propulsion and lift. All in all, a most elegant solution. I'm actually a little upset that I didn't think of it myself.
The design does, however, come with one small flaw.
Now what's that, Wedge?
The energy conversion ratio is bloody awful. To generate enough power to get you off the ground, you need to be in an area awash with predominantly wind-aspected ether.
Oh, good.
In other words, there are a few places you can fly, lots of places you can't.
The new Ishgardian airship hasn't left the boys much time for tinkering, meaning it may be a while before this particular project takes off. If you'll forgive the pun.
I will not, but okay. Tataru! Our girlie's here!
Tataru, what's happened?
I've been looking all over for you. There's been word from Uldar. It's about Her Grace, the Sultana.
Oh, is it already time for a diversion back to Uldar?
It seems you're required elsewhere. Leave the mana cutter with us. We'll see that she's airworthy and suitably equipped to slice through those winds. You, meanwhile, should concentrate on providing Rauban and the Sultana whatever help they need.
time for more Ul'dah politics. Everyone's favorite. A general summons. General Raban says they may have uncovered the Sultana's whereabouts, and he wants you, by which I mean both of you, to go to the Waking Sands right away and help with the investigation. Come, Dragonfruit. Pressing though Ishgard's plight may be, our presence here will not serve to hasten the Manicutters' completion. Let us return to the troubled lands of Thanalan and lend what aid we may. Tataru, have our friends at the congregation send a message to Estinian. Tell him we have identified a solution to our problem, but that it will take some time to prepare. As you wish, Master Alfino. To the Waking Sands, Warrior of Light. 'Tis past time Ul'dah was delivered from this darkness. We are, once again, pre-returning. Enter the Waking Sands. Oh, lots of good friends are here.
Thank you for coming.
Wonderful.
No thanks are necessary, General. I trust your recuperation continues apace.
I cannot complain. Thanks to Higiri and her ministrations, I've regained much of the strength I lost during my imprisonment.
I gather you have made progress in the search for Her Grace.
Aye, some good fortune at last. A few days past, Dulala informed us that a sizable shipment of alchemical supplies had been delivered to the palace.
With Papa Shan's assistance, I set out to ascertain the source and nature of the shipment. My inquiries led me to Frondale's frontistery. There, I learned that an order had been placed for a curious substance designed to sustain patients trapped in death-like slumber. An invention of the former head alchemist, apparently.
A death-like slumber? This cannot be a coincidence.
It lends some weight to Dulala's claims, aye. Her Grace is likely somewhere within the palace, abed but alive.
Before making any attempt to extricate the Sultana, however, it seemed prudent to learn what manner of substance was used to induce her torpor. To that end, I made inquiries as to the whereabouts of the one most like to have administered it. The lady-in-waiting, Meriel. We sent for you as soon as we learned of her location. All that remains is to apprehend the woman.
We shall find our cat's paw in the Silver Bazaar. But we must tread carefully. The market is not the bustling place it once was, and someone is sure to mark our coming. Should they inform the monetarists, we'll have a fight on our hands. We must be prepared for the worst, and being short an arm, I thought it wise to take another in its stead. What say you, Warrior of Light? Will you lend me yours?
Yeah, we can lend you an arm. That's fine.
Then I pity the bastard that stands in our way. Come, my friend, for Nanamo, and for Ul'dah!
Our target is Meriel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting. a woman of Midlander heritage. I am told the two of you have met. Our sources indicate that she left the palace shortly after the incident and quietly rejoined the dwindling population of the Silver Bazaar. I suggest we begin by questioning the market's residents and confirm that Mariel is still in hiding there. Alrighty, back to our home turf. We're mostly not wanted for murder anymore, which is, you know, good. That is not where I meant to go. Forgot that Silver Bazaar was not in the city. Hello, Mercury. Wonderful to see you, friend. Hope you're having a good one so far. Oh, also, ad starting in about a minute, chat. Kitty Mount. Yeah, it's my horribly inbred lion that I got from tanking. He's just a little snaggly. A little bit scrambled. Love me a fuck-up cat. Do I know of any returning residents? Gods, don't tell me they're starting to come back. My masters will not be pleased to hear of this. Greetings, Dragonfruit. What can I do for the Silver Bazaar's favorite adventurer? Looking for Mariel, you say? If you're hoping to lure her back to Ul'dah, you may as well give up now. The girl's done with city life. Is good? Work was uneventful? I'm doing very, very well, thank you. Making some good headway in Final Fantasy today. Mariel. Aye, she's here. Left the city for good, she says. Barely leaves her house, though. It's the closest one to the market entrance. Mariel? Hi, girly. How you doing? Remember when you tried to kill the Sultana? Work was okay, kind of slow, glad tomorrow's Friday. Yes, y'all are so close to the weekend.
You are Mariel, the Sultana's former lady-in-waiting?
Who's asking?
I know no one of that name. Pray excuse me.
The crew rolls up to this lady's house. Sup?
General Alden.
Maybe we opened with Raban next time.
We will have the truth from you, girl.
Give her a chance for honesty, not the angry bull. Yeah, that's fair. He do be a little bit gumped.
Mayhap it would be better coming from me.
Oh, hello. It's fine, Raban, just kill him.
Dolorito,
Kill him now.
you'd best talk fast.
Now and instantly.
As you know, Teleji Adeleji's Cartano reclamation bill was no more than a facade. A means to get his grubby little hands on that Allagan monstrosity Omega.
Pot kettle, my friend.
When he learned of Nanamo's intention to abdicate, however, he was forced to amend his plans. Suddenly, assassination seemed the most promising way to further his ambitions. I am told Teleji had discovered a maid in whose veins ran the blood of House Thorn. A new, more pliable puppet to sit the throne. 'Twould have caused an uproar, of course, but few could have contested her claim.
I want to meet her. She seems like she might have things to say about the Sealdy dungeon.
'Twas plain that Teleji's wild machinations had outgrown our ability to control them. So I decided to usurp his scheme and left the fool to seal his own demise.
And what of Nanamo?
Oh, I have no desire to harm her grace. 'Twould profit me little to destabilize our government. Thus did I employ young Mariel here to administer a potent sleeping potion in place of a poison.
Didn't we? I don't think we ever met the other girl who has Thorn Dynasty blood. I could be wrong,
You should
but...
know, General, that your dear friend Ilberd was fully aware of my plan. I had him lie about the assassination as a means to prime your rage against Teleji. We weren't entirely sure how you would react, but things went rather better than expected.
God, I hate him so much. 2019 Little Lady's Day. Oh, okay. Interesting.
You little worm. You had your claws in the Crystal Braves before their first recruit had sworn to serve.
But of course,
Aldifa
when a
Thorn.
new game
Interesting.
begins, 'tis only prudent to have a piece on the board. Ilberd was mine.
Fuck you, Lolorito.
Truth be told, a significant proportion of the Braves' initial endowment was also mine. With such large sums moving about, 'twas a rather trifling matter to disguise my own contribution. Ah, Ilberd. I secured his services with a promise to support his cause once my authority had been solidified. I swear, the man thinks of naught but prizing Alamigo from the grasp of the
She's just been doing
Empire.
Little Ladies Days for the past few years. Oh, cool. Also, Lolorito, we're gonna duct tape you to the fucking mana cutter
the
and
poor
drive you
fellow
into the
seems
dragons,
quite unable
and
to
it'll be
forsake
fine.
the land of his forefathers. Mayhap that's why he called you a traitor to your people and a disgrace to your homeland, amongst other things. What was it he always compared you to? Oh, yes, an overgrown lapdog begging for scraps at the Sultana's table. Oh, how we laughed.
Why are we letting this man still talk?
Alas, Ilberd's entertaining little outbursts eventually gave way to
This
wearisome
potato sure has a mouth on it. He really
tirades,
do,
and the zealous
goddamn.
brute became rather unruly. I had no wish to see you executed.
A nice new
you
hood ornament
understand,
for the
but
ship, yeah.
He would not take no for an answer. Rest assured, his employment with me has long since ended.
I mean, it's either tape or maybe we dangle him from a rope?
Which brings us neatly to the present.
We go sky fishing.
What say you, General? Both you and the Sultana are alive. We have one corpse and one fugitive. And preparations have been made to restore your good name. Shall we cry quits and start again with a blank ledger?
God, this smug little shit.
The hells we will.
Thank
Do
you,
honestly
Raban.
expect me to forgive and forget? After all you've done? You're guilty of high treason.
Stay your blade, Master Alden. You yourself are not innocent. Or
Oh
have
my
you
God.
forgotten your own crime in executing Teleji Adeleji without trial?
Dulala?
Though you acted out of loyalty to the Sultana, such deeds are in violation of
Nah,
both the
dude, what
word
about the scions?
and
There isn't a blank
spirit
ledger.
of the
Yep,
law.
100%. Dragon fruit seething in the background.
If you would, Lord Lolorito?
Not a violation of the spirit of the law one bit. He was absolutely right.
This potion will wake the Sultana from her slumber. Consider it a gesture of conciliation. You will find Her Grace resting comfortably within her private
yes.
chambers.
White monster energy.
Should you doubt my word, I shall willingly accompany you to the palace as your hostage.
No, you're coming to Ishgard with us. For a little experiment. Dude is just waiting to give us this info while we've spent a month or so in the snow. Yeah, he sucks.
I like not your motives, Lolorito. But you saved the Sultana's life, and for that, you have my gratitude.
Hey, while I'm being upset, why the fuck is this man running around free while Fordella still has a bomb collar on? Not to jump ahead several expansions, but...
Rauban Aldin, you are hereby reinstated as General of the Immortal Flames. The citizens of Ul'dah shall once more be united under Nanamo Ul'Namo, and together we shall usher in a new age of prosperity.
Yup. Yeah. Square do be making choices with some of its characters. Mostly how it treats its men and versus how it treats its women. Speak with Alfie now. Hey Alfie, so that was some shit, right? By the 12th, I feared Lord Lolorito's arrival would herald another bloodbath. Little did I suspect that he of all people would gift us the means to rouse the Sultana. Yeah, well, he sucked. Awakening in Ul'dah. Shall we also make our way to Ul'dah? I should imagine Bartholomew has been instructed to admit us. You know what? Sure. Hi, we're here to reawaken the Sultana. Flame General Raban mentioned you might be coming. Please, this way if you will. She's just having a little nap. She Ebi and Neebi's too sleepy. She is same hat, yep. Did they have anyone caring for her during this time? I feel like Lolorito had to have? Tiny feetsies. Yeah, they do kind of just be out. The books go into that Lolorito had people tending to her. Yeah, I figured there was some kind of monitoring at least going on. You don't want to not kill the Sultana and then accidentally let the Sultana die under your watch.
I was having the longest dream.
"'Tis time to wake up, Your Grace. Another day begins in Thanalan, and the sun blazes bright upon the sands."
Hey, she's awake! Now dissolve the fucking syndicate! Right now, today.
Her Grace is awoken. The palace physician assures me she is none the worse for her slumber.
Twilight over Thanalan hits so different now, as someone who still needs to actually run Sealed and not just watch it. Yes, you do need to run it.
Her Grace will soon resume her plans to place the government of Uldar into the hands of its citizens. Whatever path she chooses to take, I shall walk it with her. And we shall tread slowly, lest the nation be unsettled in our wake.
Nah, you can tread quick. The monetarists can fucking deal.
Her Grace's compassion is a shining beacon to us all.
Kill.
But what our city truly thrives upon is competition.
Kill, murder, destroy.
'Tis in the struggle against our rivals that opportunities are seized and fortunes made. And with the Empire on the offensive once more, now would hardly seem the time to turn our system of government upon its head.
Oh my god.
Are you privy to new intelligence, my lord?
I would hardly call it new. Remind me, what was the name of that enormous Imperial warship which met its end in Mordona? Oh, wait, I have it. The Agrias. Yes, well, 'twould appear that the Garleans have been hard at work on another such vessel.
Yeah, how long you been sitting on that? Maybe go to the military with that fucking info.
Is it operational?
Its maiden flight was a success, I hear. I should imagine Emperor Varys is eager to see how it performs in battle.
God, this little shit.
My lords and ladies, I move that it is time to repair the damage caused by Teleji Adeleji and prepare our great nation to repel the Empire once more.
Nobody liked that.
"'Tis well that the Sultana has awoken. The Syndicate yet needs to put its house in order.
That wasn't very
but 'twould
cash
seem
money.
the
It
worst
really
of the
wasn't.
confusion has passed. Uldar has taken control of its future, and I must do the same.
Okay.
I have decided to disband the Crystal Braves.
Wait, had he not made this
Among the
decision prior to
recruits,
this?
There were those who supported our order's goals and convictions with all
I mean, good on you,
sincerity.
buddy, but...
'Tis my hope that these loyal men and women will choose to remain our allies in the battles to come. As for those who sided with the traitor, Ilberd, they shall be hunted down and held to account for their crimes. It is my earnest hope that they will surrender themselves peaceably when the time comes, though I think it unlikely. Ah, my all-conquering Crystal Braves. The model army meant to pave the way for a single unified Grand Company of Eorzea. That so high an ideal should be brought so low.
Alfino, some constructive criticism. If you're using the word all-conquering to describe your PMC,
yet I see now that it was mine own
maybe you go
naivety
back to
and
the drawing
pride
board on
which
it?
allowed the Braves to fall prey to corruption. As ever, it is to your own shining example that I turn for inspiration. Like you, I mean to stand firm in the face of hardship, and give mine all for the cause. Let us resume the search for our missing comrades, that we might come together to shine the light of dawn across the realm once more. The role of Crystal Brave Commander suited me ill, and I shall play it no longer. Henceforth, I shall be no more or less than Alphino, proud member of the Scions.
I mean, you weren't doing a whole lot of commanding for the past several months, so that's probably fine. I blush to speak thus of mine inner turmoil, but the fact remains, there is no woman alive in whom I would rather confide. Were it not for your shining example, I might never have emerged from beneath the pall of my despair. A brave resolution. Baby boy. Even just conquering by itself? Pretty bad. Still no word from Master Garland. I hope this mana cutter of theirs is nearing completion. I am assured that her grace will make a full recovery. I and Ul'dah too shall flourish once more. General Raban and his colleagues have matters well in hand, I believe. Lady Yugiri, a question, if I may. I believe your people have been keeping a close watch on the Crystal Braves. Might you know how things stand at the Rising Stones? Ah, yes, of course. You will be pleased to know that the 3rd Unit Braves abandoned Revenant's Toll when they learned of Captain Ilbert's defeat. The only blue uniforms to be seen there now are those worn by soldiers loyal to you, Master Alphino. To me? I see. I am grateful to hear that at least some of our members were true to their oaths. Ere we return to Ishgard, I must go to the Rising Stones and thank these stalwarts for their service. It shall be my final act as Crystal Brave Commander. Will you join me, Dragonfruit? You were there at the company's inception. 'Tis only fitting that you be present at its end. And I would appreciate the support. That's me, the emotional support lizard. Trying to remember the exact wording of it, but there was a Tumblr post that was like, so much of the main story is just Alphino asking you to come and hold his hand for conversations that you really have no part participating in. And the next comment was like, Twinks just be like that sometimes. Commander, you're alive. And Dragonfruit too. I knew you'd scrape through. My splendid Crystal Braves, I have wronged you, all of you. My promises of glory and salvation have brought you naught but blood and betrayal. Ah, you'll not hear us complaining. 'Twas a sight messier than expected, aye, but we was still fighting for the freedom of all, just like we swore. Ain't that right, mates? Aye. You humble me. I am truly blessed to have such steadfast comrades. It is with the most profound regret, then, that I must... That's enough of that, Commander. We know what you have a mind to say, and we ain't having none of it. We've talked it over, see, and we all agreed. You take our uniforms and strip us of our ranks, but we won't be no less of a company. But the Crystal Braves... The Crystal Braves may be finished, but the ideals upon which the company was founded live on. They bind us to each other, and to you. Commander, Alphino, our minds are made up, so you may as well get used to it. Let us help the Scions. Let us help you find Minfilia and the others. My friends, after all that has happened, I know not what to say. Oh, buddy. Pray excuse me. I had thought my tears spent. My grandfather used to say that one could measure a man by the constancy of his comrades. Mayhap I am the exception which proves the rule. Nay, do not protest. I know that I am not worthy of their loyalty, Dragonfruit. But as Thaliak is my witness, I shall do everything in my power to earn it. Ready to fly. I must speak of future plans with the remaining Braves. Any information we uncover on the missing Scions will need to be shared with our allies across the realm, specifically Urianger in the Waking Sands and Tataru in Ishgard. While we were organizing our various channels of communication, I would ask that you call upon Master Garland at the manufactory. I will join you in Ishgard as soon as I am able. It is almost Airy time. Airy time. Words have pronunciations sometimes. We do be saying vowels and consonants in sequence. Hi, how's the ship going? Dragonfruit. How in the seven hells do you do it? I was just about to send for you. We have but this moment completed the Mana Cutter's first successful test flight. A few minor adjustments and she'll be ready to go. While we see to the finishing touches, you might want to pay a visit to Folkdal Manor. A dragoon by the name of Estinian is looking for you. Buddy, what are you doing back in the city? Thought you were keeping an eye on the dragons. Did you come back to bathe? Don't lie to me. You have fulfilled your obligations to the Uldans, then. Mistress Tataru has been keeping me apprised of the situation. Once I learned that these mana cutters of Master Garland's were nearing completion, I saw no reason to tarry in the mists. Just to bathe. He's not in his bath-taking arc yet. For the present, Nidhogg seems content to remain in the Eyrie, plotting his revenge. Might not this be an apt moment to unfold our plans to Sir Emmerich? I think we have kept him in the dark long enough. Time to go meet with our buddy, the Lord Commander. Hello again, Firm Albert. Sir Emmerich has been eager to speak with you. Pray proceed. And their cousin Soft Albert, no!
All stands ready, Lord Commander.
The moment has come then.
Pray excuse my lateness. I paid a brief visit to the workshop to inquire about the Mana Cutters. The engineers assure me that they're ready.
The area is now but a short flight away. Yet what a long and winding path we took to reach this point.
That wasn't that bad. You should have seen the quests leading up to Garuda.
Were it not for Master Alphino's proposal, we never would have attempted to parley with the dragons. Though our negotiations yielded little, our expedition with Lady Isar taught us much.
You took an unimaginable risk. I could scarce believe the tale Estinian told.
Yeah, but like, we were fine, so...
'Tis true that many of our countrymen would sooner die than join hands with the heretic's mistress. But 'twas through that most unlikely of alliances that we came to speak with Hraesvelgr.
A conversation that went rather poorly, as I recall.
In this instance, the journey was more important than the destination. Had we not slain Nidhogg's consort, Tiaman, and put the Great Worm on his guard, the Dravanians would have arrived at Ishgard's walls long ago.
Aye, that they would. Full grateful am I for every hour of respite your actions have afforded us. Thanks to you, our defenses are much improved. 'Tis but a pity they won't be enough.
Thus, you believe an assault upon the area represents the city's best chance of survival. Is that not so, Estinian?
I am under no illusions. Nidhogg's might is legendary. But with his eye in my possession, I can stifle his strength at the source.
Ah yes, the cursed gummy.
Victory will be hard won.
Ad starting in
even
about a
so.
minute, chat.
And I shall be glad indeed to have the Warrior of Light at my side.
You shall have my blade as well. There are more of these mana cutters to be had, yes?
Lord Commander, no!
How can I, a proud knight of Ishgard, stand by and do naught while an outsider risks life and limb for our homeland? I swore an oath to protect this city.
Pray leave the slaying of dragons to dragoons,
Oh,
Sir
excuse me.
Knight.
Good lord.
Your duty to command the city's defense is no less vital.
Sometimes we don't mute in time.
Should we fail, and Nidhogg slip through our grasp, who then will hold the walls against him? Will you leave Ishgard in the hands of the Holy Sea's zealots?
There are others.
Who but you has the authority and the standing to orchestrate a city-wide defense? I do not, and neither does the Warrior of Light. That is why it is our place to fight, and yours to remain here, Lord Commander.
Estinian does not want his boyfriend along for this.
What? You too, Master Alphino? By the Fury. You have shown some promise, but this adversary is far beyond your skills.
Your candor is
That was a good
appreciated,
visual.
Sir Dragoon. I shall remain then and cheer you from afar.
Well, my friend, it would seem I have discouraged the last of the volunteers, and claimed the task as ours alone. But if any alive can best this worm, 'tis surely we too.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Probably. You're like, I've read this 200 times, we're fine. Yup. I have pricked Master Alphino's pride, I fear. But had I been less forceful, the boy would have insisted on accompanying us to the Eyrie. Do not think me blind to his talent. With a few more campaigns under his belt, I have no doubt that Alphino will make a fine field commander. But one does not practice on an adversary such as Nidhogg. We shall be hard-pressed enough without the added worry of carrying a novice. To the Eyrie. Alrighty. Well, that means it is time for me to make a poll. Roll for the Eyrie. As always, healer, tank, or DPS. I'm gonna set that to 5 minutes. Estinian is eager to set forth for the Eyrie. We have tarried long enough. Let us call upon Master Garland and take possession of the Mana Cutters. And as always, if anyone wants to come along for the dungeon itself, we are on Brynhildr. Feel free to join us if you would like. What's that face for? I'm not looking at the pole. What's that face for? Can't join, but you can make me suffer in the polls? Oh, good. Dragon fruit, old friend. The cutters are ready when you are. The finer adjustments cost us a few sleepless nights, but we got there in the end. Which means you can get where you need to go. I tell you, these little beauties will tear through that wind barrier like a cermet drill through cottage cheese. That's an image that I did not need in my mind. And that, my friends, is a Garland Ironworks guarantee. You have our thanks. Come, warrior of light. The dread worm awaits. Oh boy. The Eyrie, now accessible. Okay. I am going to actually step away briefly and get some more water just before we do this dungeon. Still got a couple minutes left on the voting, and yeah, if anyone wants to come along, that also gives you time to get over here. I will be right back. Just one moment. Okay, we've returned. What's that poll looking like? Okay, well, it's tied, so we're gonna see what the poll tells me wins in a couple seconds. Okay, guess it's gonna be healer or tank, but I don't know which. Do tell us. Okay, yep, tie for both. That means it's time to do a random in between two. One is healing, two is tank. I sure am healing a lot of Heavensward dungeons. Okay, time to remember how to do this. Okay. What do we have at this level? Okay, we've got some decent stuff. I believe in myself, kind of. I don't think that we have anyone coming along. Don't really see anyone online, but... Okay, yep. Let's get into it. Time for the Aerie. What do you mean no instant healer queues? What is this? Come on now. Don't you know I'm playing healer? At least it's a less than 5-minute wait time. As always, if it hits 5, then we'll go in with a trust party. I don't think we'll... Speak of the fucking devil. Okay, let's do it. We are piloting our silly little garlic clove airships. Well, that's a big boy. A very large and upset lad. No, his cursed eye. Wicked mortals, I shall melt your flesh and turn your bones to ash. Good things, always. Also, I'm so sorry to our party members, but these are some long intro cutscenes. Just be like that, I guess. Dravania, the Aerie. Okay, time to go. Oh, there's our final party member. Okay, we're doing kind of fine. You know. I am just perpetually nervous about my healing abilities. I hope if nothing else that it is entertaining for y'all. Oh yeah, I got this just fine. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I try my bestest. Who's got the mark? Oh, KT, please. Oh, no, no, no. Don't die, please. No dying. None of that allowed. Thanks. Oh no, this group is not a fan of doing mechanics, are they? That's, you know, sometimes it'd be like that. Okay, we're fine. We got it down. Okay, it's 2 sprouts. I'll be good and understanding. Uh-oh. Who's dying? And why? Why are you perishing? Friend? This should not be happening. But I will not allow it to happen. I control the die. Please. Please mitigate. Get out of the fucking AoE. Oh, this is not great. This is bad. This is very bad, actually. I will have to check in the box to see if he was actually mitigating or if I am just being a shitty healer, because I don't know what the fuck happened with that pull. Woof. Tank got a little dicey on the last pull. Nobody died, but like, got a little close. I mean, realistically, it was fine. I'm just a girl who's perpetually nervous. Okay. die. Get out of the fog. Okay. Well, you know they're trying. What is up with this red mage's health? They're dropping so fast. Please be in. Yep. Okay, will not let anyone perish on my watch. I have my pride, damn it. Oh, a single pull. A forced single pull, but a single pull nonetheless. You know what? He's fine. Okay, do they know how to dodge Dire Swarm mechanics? They do not. That is perfectly okay. That will keep us alive regardless. He kinda did. He backstepped from that claw swipe. What is the monk getting hit by? That's what I'm not understanding. Questions we ask ourselves as we heal. Hi, Nidhogg. It's time for the grumpy dragon himself. Draconian gaze. The dragon's eyes limiting Nidhogg's strength. Why are you all the way over there? Don't make me healer privilege. This red mage is struggling a little bit. Oh, that's okay. Be like that. Red mage, I'm enacting my privilege. Get over here. Please. Hey, maybe for your healer. Oh no. Please? That got a little close for comfort. So squishy, I'm not understanding. Please, please. This is why we stick with the group. I don't know if they got knocked back or if they disengaged or what, but... getting stable price now. Is it me? Not me. Okay, we're fine. We got this. We did it! We beat Nidhogg! And I didn't let anyone die. Oh, holy shit, the lesser panda dropped. Okay. Well. Hopefully we win a roll, because that's a fun little friend to have. I'm gonna give the comm to that red mage, because they were trying their best. I did not win the lesser panda. That's okay. Wow, no comms. Tough crowd. ad starting in about a minute, chat. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Moomin. Thou wouldst use mine own eye against me. Time hath done naught to dilute thy kind's depravity. I have not forgotten thee, Dragoon. Mine essence claimed thee once, and shall do so again. Good run? Aw, thanks. I tried very hard.
No worm! This ends here!
Ah yes, the good Heavensward theme. I say like they're not all good, but this one hits real good. This kills the dragon. Oh, now he's all gross. Buddy, you're gonna want to wash that armor, like, right away. Immediately.
You gifted my people 1,000 years of suffering. Now I gift you an eternity in darkness.
Oh, thank you so much for the hydrate redeem, Mika. 1 second. We have rehydrated another gummy. What flavor this time? Grape restored. That's half our gummies fixed. Two cursed gummies.
They are ours, Lord Eldrath. The eyes of Nidhogg.
Two of them.
Aye. The worm lies broken and my father is avenged. With the wellspring of his vitality thus denied him, Nidhogg shall not linger long in this world.
Is that also Adam Howden?
But behold the terrible price we have paid. My sire is dead. So many brother knights slain. We traded our honor for the strength which now courses in our veins. And still we are forced to make such sacrifice.
But not in vain, my lord. Hraesvelgr is the only great worm left in Dravania, and he dares not leave his lair. With Nidhogg's eyes in your possession, who now can challenge the might of Ishgard, ascend the throne, and take your rightful place as the ruler of our people?
Just gonna put those away for later?
Nay, my friend. I must forsake the mantle of king. Though Nidhogg be defeated, his wormling horde yet darkens the skies with wings beyond counting. As one who partook of Ratatoska's strength, it shall be my penance to bear a knight's arms until death grants me leave to retire. When that day comes, no prince shall perish, but a hell's-bound hunter of dragons.
But Lord Haldreth, what then shall become of the royal line?
Think of your people, my lord. Without a king, who will the common man turn to in his hour of need? How will he find his way without your benevolent hand to guide him?
I thank you, Sir Flavian and Sir Silvertrill, for dispelling my remaining doubts. With men of such wisdom and compassion in service to the realm, 'tis plain that Ishgard has no need of a king. But if you must bow to the demands of tradition, you need look no further than yourselves for one worthy to wear the crown.
Haldrath, you done fucked it all up. You just established the nobility.
Fare thee well, my brother knights, my loyal friends. On these shoulders shall I bear the weight of my father's sins. With this lance shall I repay the debt accrued through our misdeeds.
What cruel jest has fate played upon us? Have we seized this desperate victory only to lose a king?
That's fine.
We can but act as our lord has bid. We few who remain must divide between us the rulership of Ishgard and her people.
Not I. My oath was to Lord Haldrath, and he alone. If he is not to be king, then I would hang up my shield as well.
Will you abandon us too, sir?
I would wash my hands of blood and betrayal, and take up an honest trade. Mayhap I shall serve ale instead of sharpened steel.
It's him, the Forgotten Knight.
We four, then.
Forton, Hylanat, Dyrendare, and Zemile. But 4 houses to rule all of Ishgard.
And what of the throne?
We keep it empty. Until the day a king rises once more, we must assume the role of stewards. We shall shape our nation anew with a history of our own making, and let the truth of this dark day die here, upon the battlefield.
We sure do be getting a lot of snippets of history.
What ails you, friend? Are you wounded?
No, I'm good, but that's not Nidhogg's.
You have borne witness to history. culmination of the first battle with Nidhogg. The legend of Ishgard's founding tells that our ancestors were led to the land of Kurthus by the valiant King Thordan. In the midst of their journey, they came to a wide chasm, where they were set upon by a great worm, Nidhogg. A furious battle then ensued, with Thordan leading the van. Though the brave king was slain defending his people, his son, Haldrath, the first Azure Dragoon, fought on undaunted. And with a mighty thrust of his lance, he gouged out Nidhogg's eye, forcing the wicked creature into retreat.
Yep, maybe look at the two gummies you got, because one of those is clearly strawberry flavor and the other's pineapple.
Lending its power to every knight deemed worthy to bear the title of Azure Dragoon. A rousing tale, is it not? Would that I could still believe it. But your vision, which we must accept as immutable truth, leaves no room for doubt, save on one point. If Haldrath took both of Nidhogg's eyes, then how came this eye to be lodged in the worm's skull?
An excellent question. Thanks.
Beneath every answer we unearth, another question lies buried.
We did it! We killed Nidhogg! That's Heavensward, everybody!
Twas a fierce battle, but one I knew we would win. Your fame is well deserved, warrior of light. Full proud am I to have fought at your side. I would fain return with all swiftness to Ishgard to inform the Lord Commander of our triumph. But we must first have words with Hraesvelgr. There are parts of this tale that the worm has kept from us, and I would know wherefore.
An excellent point. Okay. Back to Summoner. Though Nidhogg is fallen, my heart is yet heavy. And this stain of corruption pleases me not. When all has been put to rest, I must needs forge my armor anew. The song begins. With Nidhogg fallen, none save Hraesvelgr remains to answer our questions. Let us trouble the worm again. And if Iceheart yet lingers at Zenith, all the better. I would have her hear the truth from the dragon's maw. Back to Zenith. We're getting very near to the end of the Churning Mists storyline. This might actually be the last part of it. Hi, Zale. 'Twas you, was it not? The furious screams of the dragons carried far. You have slain Nidhogg. What more could you desire from this place? Will you not allow Hraesvelgr to mourn the death of his kin in peace? Spare us your sanctimonious judgment, Ice Maiden. We have a gift for the Great Worm, and a mystery that can no longer lie buried. Lady Iceheart, the Dragon Song War has all but consumed your life and claimed many of your followers. 'Tis time you learned the truth of its beginning, the whole truth, that we may at last bring this bitter conflict to an end. Sound the horn, warrior of light. Impenitent mortals, ever seeking to bury old wrongs under new. I did sense the moment of Nidhogg's demise.
You mean the moment I prized your eye from his head?
Yeah, we got something of yours, buddy. 'Twould seem thou hast uncovered my secret. Aye, unto the blinded Nidhogg did I yield one half of my strength. Oh. It is, once again, plot migraine time. We get a lot of those this arc. Nidhogg, what hath befallen thee? We are undone by covetous mortals. They did take Radatusker's eyes and glut their appetites upon her essence. She is slain then. What madness hath unmade our peaceful accord? Did I not warn thee, brood brother? They have ever been untrustworthy creatures, these short-lived Ellison. But thou wert enchanted by thy mortal maid. Thy folly hath cost Ratatosker her life, and me mine eyes. Oh, my beloved Shiva, how swiftly are thy kin made bestial by their appetites. Resvelger, 'twas thy blindness that did invite disaster into our lands. Surrender thee an eye to me, and let that be thy penance. Nidhogg. They bested me once, but I was reckless. I shall need but a single eye to inflict enduring torment upon these traitors and every child of their line. Yield to me thy strength, brood brother. My vengeance is begun. Good job, Hresvelgar. Thou hast borne witness to a scene from my past.
It was yours. Your strength that sustained Nidhogg all these years.
Would that Haldrath had dealt the worm a killing blow.
Yeah, bros before hoes. When my brood brother did appear before me, bloody and blinded, his life was all but spent. He demanded half my vigor that he might exact his revenge upon the mortals who had wronged us. Gotta lend him my orb, yup.
And so you acquiesced. You surrendered your eye to Nidhogg, knowing full well the suffering he would inflict.
Hey, you don't leave a guy hanging when he asks you to borrow the orb. Not your bro. The peace my beloved so dearly desired had been shattered by her own kin. Their treachery claimed my brood sister's life and my brood brother's reason. Thinkest thou thy fits of indignation will move me to remorse?
I'm fine.
Go, mortals. Take your unruly passions and leave this place. Your presence here spelleth naught but misery. Were it not for Shiva's soothing embrace, I would slay you where you stand. Woe betide you should the bond we share ever weaken. Unrest in Ishgard. Though he lifted not a single claw, it would seem that Hresvelgar wreaked his own manner of vengeance against us.
It was my life's goal to slay Nidhogg, but I find there is little joy to be had in its accomplishment.
But you have rid the world of a hate-filled creature, and ended a bloody war in so doing.
Yeah, that's it. That's the expansion.
I lost my family to Nidhogg's flames, and 'twas with fury in my heart that I took up the lance. Every blow I struck in the name of vengeance. We were not so different, he and I.
I will not judge you for your deeds. I have not the right. Too many innocents have perished in the name of my greater good.
Yet even with all that has passed, the tale is incomplete. We are short a great worm's eye, Of the pair which Haldreth took from Nidhogg, only one is known to us, the one I bear. What then became of the other? Why did Nidhogg, who had taken such pains to prolong the Dragonsong War, suddenly decide to hurl his entire army against the walls of Ishgard?
That's a good question,
Lord
Stinian.
Commander. Aye. The deed is done. Nidhogg is slain. What? In the city? A battle with whom? At once, Lord Commander. Hold firm till our return. Fighting has broken out in the city. Lord Emmerich was sparse with the particulars, but it seems some commoners threw open the gates to a force of heretics.
Oh, good.
I gave no order to attack.
Are we to mark the end of the Dragonsong War by spilling the blood of our own? Mayhap Hraesvelgr was right about us. Let us away, Warrior of Light. The people must be saved from themselves.
Wait! I would join you! There has been enough violence. I will appeal to my people in the city and make them see reason.
Good luck, Izael.
Come then, Lady Iceheart. Let us write the final chapter in this damnable war.
Oh, good. The Pope's having a little get-together.
A small army of heretics has invaded the city, Your Eminence. But there is no cause for concern. A sizable contingent of our soldiers is already in place to repel the Dravanian assault. And the intruders will soon find themselves outnumbered and outmatched.
Our plans proceed apace, then?
Yes, Your Eminence. This unrest shall serve to feed the people's fear of the heretics and the dragons both.
And lend renewed fervor to their prayers for deliverance. Very good. Grant our guests what time they need to sow a measure of chaos, then order the Temple Knights to crush them.
Your will be done.
Normal things to say about your city? Let them do a tiny amount of destruction. Just a little bit. Just for funsies.
The moment is at hand. Excellent. All shall soon be in alignment. It is time for the Bringer of Light to die.
Is it though? Because, you know, you lost against us last time we fought. Ad starting in about a minute, chat.
Comrades! Sheathe your swords! There is no need for further bloodshed!
My lady!
He is come.
Hear me, brothers and sisters! The war is ended! Nidhogg is no more!
Yeah, sorry guys, we lost the war, so just pack it up.
Aye, it is so! This adventurer and the Azure Dragoon laid the Great Worm low! The endless cycle of violence between man and dragon was born of our forefathers' treachery. You have followed me, bled with me, to bring this truth to light that we might all know peace. But Nidhogg is dead. Nidhogg is dead, my friends! He who bore such hatred towards Ishgard is dead! Let his hatred die with him, I say! Let us sheathe our swords and go in peace!
Oh, this is gonna go over real well.
Have we lost?
No, my friend! Far from it! At long last, the peace for which we have so desperately fought is within our grasp. And I, for one, would not forsake it.
Peace?
Seize the witch! Let none escape!
Oh, buddy. Not the play.
Providing aid and succor to the wounded should be our first concern.
Thank you, Harsh.
If the heretics mean to observe the peace, then it would be folly not to do the same.
Yeah, it turns out attacking an enemy that's surrendered is a good way to prolong a war, actually, rather than end it. That was rather too close for comfort, but 'twould seem that calm is returning to the streets. My mind, however, yet clamors with 1,000 questions. You return to Ishgard at the oddest of company, my friend. Alrighty. I think that we are going to call it here for today, because that is the entirety of the Churning Mists done. Next time, we will be doing some additional story in Ishgard, and then we'll have some Sea of Cloud stuff to do as well. So let me jump over to the chat screen real quick. We did get a ton done. We made some real good progress today. We are past the halfway point for base Heavensward, which is exciting. We'll probably hop back into this on Sunday, is my guess. We'll do some more Sunday afternoon. Let me see who is online that we can toss a raid over to. Who is up? Oh, okay. Charmy is streaming. Have not gone to see her in a little bit, so we're going to send a raid over her way. She's playing some Rise of the Tomb Raider, so let's go hang out with her for a bit. We'll be back on Saturday with some more Dredge, which will be nice and exciting. It'll be a longer stream, so we'll get some real good fishing in. Probably not get attacked by Eldritch Horrors, but you know, we'll see. Thank you for the raid message, Lena. I will see y'all on Saturday, and until that point, I hope that you all have a wonderful and relaxing rest of your day. Take care, everyone.